Hello again, welcome to this series on the Gematria of Genesis. And I'd like to take you to the third reading, what's called Parashat HaShavua in Hebrew, third reading on the book of Genesis. And that is when God tells Abram to Lech Lecha, go forth. And this is on Genesis chapter 12. Verse 1. Now, there's been a lot of debate and discussion over the centuries on the whole aspect of what does Lech Lecha mean. Lech means go, Lecha means you, yourself. And there's not a direct translation of this, but if you look at these letters, Lech Lecha, Lech Lecha is actually, the spelling is duplicated. Lamed Kaf, Lamed Kaf. Now, what we understand from this is, what does it mean from a geometrical point of view, Lech Lecha? So if we look at these letters, Lamed Kaf, we get Lamed with a value of 30, in the geometrical point of view, Kaf with 20, the total is 50. The same with Lecha is also 50. So you have a doubling of the 50. What does this mean? Well, 50 in geometrical terms is a very significant number. Let's have a look at 50. Basically, 50 means return and renewal. So if it's Lech Lecha, it's return to what? Renewal of what? What is we talking about? If we look at 50, 50 first of all is the Jubilee. It's called the Yubal. It's the 50th year. In the 50th year, everything returns to its owner. The land is given a double rest. In fact, it's given a rest in the 49th year and the 50th year. And then in the 51st year, everything starts again. In the 50th year, the slave is released. In the 50th year, land is returned to its owner. Land that has been leased is returned to its owner. In the 50th year, we see that all debts are returned. So 50 is not only important in the Jubilee, in the festival of Shavuot, the festival of weeks, it's also the 50th day after Passover. We celebrate Shavuot, the festival's week, the idea of the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. And this is also reflected in the Tibetan calendar. In Tibetan Buddhism, they have the idea of Bardo. What is Bardo? Bardo is when the belief of reincarnation, when a person dies, he is placed in Bardo. His soul is in Bardo for 50 days. And on the 50th day, he returns back into this world. It's also in the I Ching. The I Ching is the Chinese book of change. It's an oracle. And when doing divination in the I Ching, you use 50 yarrow sticks. And the 50th yarrow stick, the last yarrow stick, is put on one side. It's the idea of return, of renewal, of change, of the beginning of a new cycle. So renewal to where? Return to where? Where is Abraham going? He's promised by God that he will be made a great nation, that his seed will be counted like the dust of the earth, like the stars in the sky, and that kings will come from his loin. This is the land of Canaan. So when he first arrives in the land of Canaan, the first thing he does is to set up an altar. And it's noted in the altar that in the Bible that the altar is set between Bethel, which is located in the west, and Hai, located in the east. why are we given this information? If we calculate the Gematria for Bethel, it comes to 443. Bethel, by the way, means the house of God. And if we calculate the Gematria for Hai, it's 85. Subtracting 443 from 85 gives us 358. Now, 358, you may remember from previous episodes, 358 is the Gematria for Messiah or Mashiach. So here we have the land that I will show you, the land of Canaan will be the land where the Mashiach will come. Not only that, but the place where he put the altar was midway between Bethel and Hai. So if the distance, geometrical distance between Bethel and Hai is 358, then the midpoint is 179 on one side and 179 on the other side. And 179 is Garden of Eden and Eden. So here, what we see is return. Abraham is going forth. Lech Lecha is not only going forth, but also going, he's returning to the Garden of Eden, the garden where Adam was kicked out. So the land of Canaan is the Garden of Eden. And it is the land to which the Messiah will come. This point is emphasized even further on in our discussions, and we denote that the point that he placed the altar is Mount Moriah, where Abraham was taken by his father Abraham. Isaac was taken by his father Abraham for sacrifice. It is indicated that this is Jerusalem, and at this point is Temple Mount. So this is the significance of Lech Lecha and the altar which Abraham has placed. Please note that all this information is in my book, which is the Gematria Genesis. You can find it on Amazon, and also the info, which is the website where I'm providing this information. Goodbye. See you next time.